Now, we move on to pain and suffering. Another $1 million Bob is going to receive. Many people would argue that damages for pain and suffering should not be taxed, because like medical expenses, they merely restore the recipient to his pre-injury status. Before the accident occurred, Bob was physically whole and looked like this. After the accident, he had $1 million instead of a foot and looked like this. The two are supposedly the same. So again, no tax should be charged. But this is not clear following conventional tax analysis, because Bob sold an asset he owned for cash. And as you remember from what I said earlier, as long as you hold to an asset, you do not pay tax, even if it goes up in value. But when you replace it with cash, namely sell it, it is taxed as the sale of an asset, and you are supposed to pay tax. This includes involuntary sales. Unless the asset is inventory, in that case it will be taxed as any ordinary income. In this case, we're talking about Bob's foot. Putting it more accurately, Bob is compensated not for the loss of his foot, but for the loss of his happiness, the pain and suffering he incurred. We can see it as if Bob sold his happiness, or peace of mind, for $1 million. It was a coerced sale, but coerced sale can result in taxable capital gain. To remind you, capital gain is the difference between the price you receive when selling the asset and the tax basis you have in that asset, which is the price you paid when you purchased the asset, or how much you spent on creating the asset or on improving it. So the price Bob received was $1 million, and the difficult question is, how much tax should he pay? Some would say no tax is required because the tax basis in his happiness of being whole is $1 million. Whereas others would say that he should be taxed on the whole amount, $1 million, because he has zero basis in his feelings. He did not purchase it, and we cannot say that he made investments while creating the asset, his happiness. So doctrinal law seems to either suggest that we tax it as a sale of a capital gain, or is completely unambiguous. That was the conventional tax analysis of damages for pain and suffering. We see it is really difficult to decide how to tax the damages paid for bodily harm under conventional tax analysis. In the next unit, we will analyze the taxation of these damages, applying what we've learned in this course so far.